Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I'll be taking a look at the final issue of KUTI that I got from Tommy Masturi. So thanks so much, Tommy. These are really cool. It's cool to get a sense of a different scene going on. This is number 58. I didn't read them in order. There's no order to these things. It doesn't matter. But this is the last one I read, and it wound up being my favorite. I really like the cover. The cover's by Sanna Haukonen. Something about that cover is really nice to me. It's less bombastic than a lot of the other ones. I really like the coloring and the use of the spot color on the line art, or the at least the look of a spot color. I don't think it actually is, but it really looks nice. I like that. These are little free anthology magazines that you can get in Finland. You can also subscribe to them. Oh, I messed up on another video. This is now saying it's 22 euros per year for. So it's maybe even more now. That was in March of 2021. I said 20, but that was in an older book. Anyways, you can subscribe to this. I think if you're in Finland, it says this is a print run of 5,000. And you can just go pick them up in a store. But living in the States, you'd have to subscribe. I think it would be worth it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool book. I'm glad this was my last one, though, because this is my favorite one. I unlike a lot of the other ones, I don't think it has a theme to it. And it's really just the quality of the stories and the art in this one was my favorite. This is by Eva Melito. Love the atmosphere on this, this foggy. This is on the outskirts of where I grew up in the Central California, Modesto, like a town, but then surrounded by farm areas. And I would do a lot of substitute teaching and have to drive through the fog, and it feels so right to me. Really like this painted comic. It ends pretty abruptly, so this is another one where I wonder if this is part of something longer. This issue I'm going to be following up, checking out, seeing if I can find a lot of these artists on Instagram, because they're interesting, and like with this one by Eva, I feel like it's part of something bigger, maybe. This one here by Jenna Olden is also really interesting to me. There's just two people sitting there talking about black holes, and especially getting interested in the fact that information gets trapped along the rim of a black hole, and they're kind of suggesting that the hologram theory of the universe, which is a theory that makes the most sense to me, that everything's actually the closer to reality you get, actually the flatter it is, the more it's just information, and then other dimensions, time, space, things like that are kind of just projections up from this data set. So it was interesting just to hear them talking about it. And then also there's these other images thrown in there that are kind of part of the story, but I really, really like the drawing and composition style of this, the way that the artist is layering, the way Jenna is layering together different kinds of imagery. I mean, it's entirely symbolic or surreal. I don't know exactly how it relates to the conversation that's being had, but it works. It looks cool. I love that from a design standpoint. And the style itself is kind of this Adventure Time Steven Universe thing I see a lot of, but it's more filtered through a fine art, expressive. It's not so tight and animation-y where it's just got a thin, clean line. This kind of really loose changes in line weight, brushy looking stuff applied to that style. It feels kind of fresh to me. I don't feel like I've seen a lot like this, and I really quite like it. It's almost like that style meeting Jism Viral or Andrew White or somebody, that does a more poetic cartooning, but with that Adventure Time stuff applied. It's interesting. I'm assuming this is by Katja Ronkanen. It's just called Friday. I think this issue has a lot to do with time, maybe, as a theme. I'm not sure. Really, really like this one. I think this is still, this is still Katja Ronkanen. Love the style on this one, and this weird glitch thing here, and just the vector graphics look of it all. The glitch stuff here, this is all really interesting to me. Here it has more of a narrative function, and here it's just that poetics of form thing. I mean, there's still a narrative of this guy coming out, but this is really interesting to me. So another artist I'm going to be following up, and hopefully can find some more books by there. This is Terry Eckelbaum. They're just sketchbook stuff, but I like that it's in a bullet journal. I've gotten familiar with these because Tori does a bullet journal, and I'm actually if I ever get around to it, I know I talk about it all the time, but the book that I want to work on, Bound, one of the plans for that is to have the character do a bullet journal. So it's cool to me just to see that, and that showed up in this other one too, where there's these design things, and they kind of have that bullet journal look. So it's an interesting, like, I don't know, new type of grid paper that I think is becoming popular, especially in like the, I don't know, Pinterest. I associate it with femininity and that kind of journaling style, but I really like that peek into the sketchbook. There's some interesting things going on. I really don't know in a lot of these how the artist is using that grid. I guess it doesn't matter. This is a strange little one here by Aino Suttonen. It's like 3 old ads. You know, it'll be like, oh, this is an ad for a medicine from 1959, or this is an ad for a refrigerator. And then they're taking those characters from those ads and re-illustrating them over and over and syncing that up with direct quotes from 1950s marriage counseling training documents. So I don't know, that's a strange combination, but it makes sense. Like I this is one of the ones where I'm like, I don't know how a person came to this idea, but once you come to it, it's a really, really fun idea of juxtaposing these things and then having the characters go through the kind of dialogue from these training documents. It was a strange comic, but interesting. And then I really, really like this one too by Hanel Rickert. Just kind of interested in abjection, I think, kind of like, I don't know, like these dead animals, and a lot of like filmic, like really, really subtle moment by moment type of transitions. But here's like, you know, someone steps in shit and then they go wash their feet and the fish are chewing on their hairy legs, and this is a squirrel rotting, and here you have the before and the after, and then here it plays out slowly. And I just, the drawings are really well done, and the design aspect and the rhythmic qualities appeal to me. Here's some other ones, you see more rhythmic stuff. It's all very unsettling. Here's like just a big splash page, which again, that really unsettling. So this is another artist that is, something about it's really resonating with me, and I want to check out more by this artist. So I'm definitely going to be getting online. And like, oh, this creepy face right here. I don't know what they're all about, but there's mood that comes through that's compelling to me. So that's the end of that. That's all the KUTIs that I've got, or cuties that I've got. So I hope you all enjoyed this series of me flipping through here. I hope, you know, there's a wide variety in all of these issues of topics and artists, and so I hope people have found a number of things throughout this that they enjoy, and I really appreciate Tommy sending it along so we could share this with everyone else and give a look at the Finnish comic scene. There's a lot of cool stuff going on over there. I don't know that all the artists are Finnish or living in Finland, but it seems like that's most of it. So it's always cool to get like a different international, like a peek at a different international scene, and I really appreciate that, Tommy. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for following along. If you enjoy what we're doing on the channel, the best ways to help us are obviously like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. We have a Patreon that we have a few different tiers for. We do some contests and stuff that people can take advantage of. And then just kind of the mission of Living the Line to make better looking books, better produced books. The best way to support that is to support the books that Sean has put out or has coming out from Living the Line Publishing. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some of those now. The Exile by Eric Creek is a gorgeously illustrated Viking saga of revenge. Eric Creek calls it his Viking Western. It's about a guy who's been away on the warpath and is returning home to some family troubles that have to be resolved. And this is told in just this amazing, like, kind of 3-color art style that looks like old woodblock cuts or something. It's absolutely gorgeous book that you've got to pick up. House on Fire by Matt Battaglia is a just gorgeous book where Matt's kind of making an emotional response to the years of COVID and wrapping that into a sci-fi dystopian future that really the sci-fi dystopian's backgrounded, and you're focused on the emotional journey of 2 characters in a really beautiful way. And then that's enhanced by Matt's like really awesome, loose, kind of Paul Popish dry brush work. And then Sean and Matt have worked to get this second kind of orange spot color in there that's going to look really, really beautiful, and has allowed Matt to use his dry brush technique to add tone to the thing too. So with Sean's production technique, this is going to be a gorgeous book with a lot of heart. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jack.
What's your